3rd of January. Oh, what is that saying? Please. Okay, go live. Oh no, that hasn't gone well. How do I change this now? Oh, I am live. I'm streaming across multiple platforms, and the platform that I use is called StreamYard, and I've just seen that you can go live on X. I never ever use X, and for that reason, first, what's up, Stufler? For that reason, I don't have a premium account. I mean, I deleted the app and then just recently thought I'd get back on it. And honestly, I don't actually know if I get anything positive from the app X. I just see negativity all the time. Anyway, try to stream on X, went live, and Facebook went in, LinkedIn, YouTube, Insta, TikTok, etc. But X didn't work. But that's okay. I'll figure it out later. What's the app you're using? Sorry, it's StreamYard. 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 And if you have a, I don't know what it's called, premium, whatever account, it's about $80 or $90 a month. You can literally stream to 9 different platforms. It's crazy. It's not ideal in terms of marketing. Obviously, polished marketing would be different language, everything different to suit each channel. But I did that for so many years and lost myself. And actually, I built my career in the early stages to be very successful very quickly because I was myself. I was 100% myself. I stood out, became successful as a personal trainer, then a coach, then a speaker very, very quickly. And then I just started copying everyone else and lost myself anyway. So now I've given myself permission to stream across all channels the way I speak, the way I show up, without trying to put on a facade or use different language, etc., for a different platform. And hey, I'm not saying I have life figured out, because I certainly don't. But this is what I'm doing this year, and let's see how I get on. Hello, everyone. Happy 3rd of January. I thought I would talk about, let me remove that quickly. Remove this destination from the screen. Yes. I thought I'm also streaming to Kick for the first time ever in my life. I'm going all in this year. I've done more live streams in the last 2 days than I probably did in the last 3 months of 2025, to give you an idea. And I'm not slowing down. Anyone that knows me, you know I'm an endurance person. I've done 10 half marathons in 10 consecutive days. I've ran 5 marathons in 5 days. I've done 4 marathons in 4 cities on 4 continents across 4 weeks. I also last year ran 6 marathons in 6 consecutive days across Thailand, as opposed to just in one direction, one destination. And a year and a half after having my legs broken in a horrific accident, to raise money for a animal sanctuary near my home, I ran a loop of my village where I was living at the time, and I thought, let me see how far I can run in 24 hours. Starting at night, running through the night, through the next day, through the next night, and I ran 3 marathons, which was 78 miles. I've got to get the maths right. And then I thought, fuck it, I've gone 78, I might as well go 2 more. So I ran 80 miles. Anyway, the point is, I love endurance. So I thought, I'm 44 years old, my body isn't what it used to be. I thought, why don't I do some endurance marathons and live streams in 2026? And also, there's so much fake in the world, and you cannot argue with a live video. A live video is a live video. Whether it's me talking for 3 hours, how can I like ChatGPT that? I can't. Whether it's showing you a life for 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever, like live is real, live is raw, and also live is rare. A lot of people just pretend. A lot of people fake. A lot of people use AI. A lot of people post stuff that makes them feel better about themselves. But life is life. And I love myself. I love my life. I love my mistakes. I accept every part of who I am. I also love my life that I've created for myself in Thailand. I'll come to your question in a bit. So I just thought, why not just fucking share all of my life? Anyway, so I wanted to talk tonight about why I mentioned yesterday that I want people to have a greater understanding of who Jean-Pierre de Villiers is. JPDV, the Iron Monk, spiritual gangster. I've got numerous different names that I go by. One of the things I want to speak about is why I left the UK. So that's what I want to. That's the intention for today. Will we go off topic? I don't know. Let's see. I'm looking at the comments. So if I'm going and my eyes are in a different direction, it's because I'm paying attention to your comments. Ayaz, are you happy in Thailand than in the UK? Oh my God. I don't want to go into this too much now answering that question directly because I first want to get to the story as to why I left the UK. But I've never been happier. Like, for people that live in Thailand, majority of people, you already get this. Abbas, good to see you. I'm seeing lots of familiar names. Matt, good to see you. For a majority of people, not all people, because a lot of people live here for the wrong reasons. I can't say a lot. People live in Thailand for the wrong reasons. But a lot of people get, like, when I'm trying to describe what it feels like to live in Thailand, a lot of people are like, yep, I get it. I've never been happier in my life. And I'm not saying that your happiness is tied to a destination. You know, the whole saying of the grass is greener on the other side. No, it's fucking not. You cannot outrun your trauma. You cannot outrun your limiting beliefs. You cannot outrun your past. The happiest place is always within yourself. Always. Your happiness, your peace, your joy, your fulfillment, it's all inside you. Saying that, however, what makes an individual happy is living by your own rules of what brings you contentment in your life. What are your values? What's important to you? What is the mission you want to live in your life? Like, what do you want to do that you love and you're passionate about and it has meaning in your life? The environment that you're in, the culture that you love. I love Thai culture because it's so kind, it's so generous, it's so loving, it's so compassionate. That's always how I've been. Your purpose, like if you're living your purpose inside, this is what makes you happy. It just so happened that Thailand is the place where I can live out my values for fun, geography freedom, time freedom, the freedom to do what the fuck I want every day. Go to the beach, go to the gym, go do yoga, go have a massage, because everything is more affordable. And I live on an island, so everything is just a few minutes away. Family, I can be with my family because I'm not living in a place where I need to earn. For a long time, I needed to earn $20,000, $30,000 a month. That's what I needed to earn to keep my lifestyle going. Now living in Thailand, I still live a good lifestyle most of the time, and I still travel to Dubai, but generally speaking, the cost of living for me has now dropped till about 10,000. If I can make 10,000, I can live a good life, 10,000 a month. Now, do I want to make 30, 40, 50,000, 100,000 a month? Absolutely, absolutely. But not when it costs me my peace. My peace is everything. When you lose your peace, you are poor. You are not rich. If you have money, you have a trophy wife or husband, or you have a job, a title, a bank balance, but you don't feel at peace, you are not fucking rich. You are poor. And for me, what matters most is my peace. Also, my values for fitness and nature and outdoors. I mean, if you've been to Thailand, fitness, nature, outdoors, that is Thailand. Especially Phuket, where I live, is an international fitness mecca. Something is going on with this live stream because I can't actually see. I can see people commenting, but I can't see numbers for who's here. I hope it's okay. Guys, can you hear me okay? On TT, yep, I got the hearts. Thank you. I don't know why it's not showing numbers. Apologies, guys. But so yes, am I happy living in Thailand? I've never been happier. And let me tell you something very quickly. I built my career in the UK. I became very successful very quickly. By the age of mid-20s, I was earning 6 figures. By my 30s, mid-30s, I had as a picture what everyone wanted. Beautiful wife, beautiful car, beautiful house, beautiful life, beautiful lifestyle. But something was missing for me, and I'll come to that in a minute. But I built my career based on being a high-performing business person surrounded by high-performing business people. So my clients, yo, what's up, Paul? My clients, Phil Ozzy, good to see you again, and thank you so much for the kind words. My clients are and were executives, entrepreneurs, business owners. The thing is I built my career on relatability. My clients could relate to me. I could relate to my clients. We were in the same environments, going after the same goals, success. And as a role model, I was fit, healthy, confident, certain, making good money, had a good business. And my clients want that. So they would pay me to figure out how they can have that. The goal for me always in my career was to be the individual that when I walked in a room, my prospective client would say, whatever he has, I want that. And it was certainty. I was selling certainty. And then I sold that to sales teams and insurance companies and recruitment companies, etc. But when I moved to Thailand, this year is a big year of transparency for me, opening up. And a lot of the things I'm going to say over this next year, definitely over the next few weeks and months, things that I've not actually talked about in depth. When I left Thailand, and I'll come back to why I left, I didn't realize the cost and the consequences that would come with it, because I became not relatable anymore. Yes, I was following my dreams. I was following the dream life that I wanted, the island life, the fitness life, living in t-shirts and board shorts and doing Thai boxing and riding on scooters and having fruit shakes and protein shakes in the streets and not having to wear too many clothes, suits, because in the UK, I lived in suits most of the time, or jackets and scarves. But I didn't realize the cost that would come with that. But in hindsight, yes, everyone that worked with me was inspired by me, but I no longer became relatable. Because now I'm living in an island in Thailand, in Asia, at a place that has a stigma attached to it, in a place that has a holiday energy associated to it. And now I've got my clients in the UK that are working hard, stressed out, overworked, and these are the people I'm trying to attract. And honestly, my business pretty much fell apart. I still managed to keep private clients, and I still managed to charge good money. But for the first time in all of my career, I had moments of scarcity. I had moments of not enough clients. I had moments of needing to go do outreach. Never did that in my whole career. Honest to God, on my daughter's life, I just lived in London and around London. I traveled, spoke at events, went to launch events. I honestly just showed up as me, and I just kept making money. And every time I would sell someone at a price range to work with me as a coach, once 3 people in a row signed up, you should never have 100% conversion rate. Once I would have 3 people sign up at 2,000, I would put it up to 3,000. And once 3 people signed up in a row without anyone saying no, I put it up to 4,000. Then 4 went 5, 5 went 6. Got to a point where I was charging 10,000 for 3 months, up to 35,000 pounds, about $45,000 a year to work with me. And this is just for Zoom calls. And then I moved to Thailand, and honestly, it's like it all went away. I managed to keep some clients because ongoing relationships and my clients got value with me. But at the end of the day, as long as I'm going to live in an island and my clients are city men and city women running businesses, entrepreneurs, etc., running sales teams, I'm just not that relatable anymore. Would I change it? No. Moving to Thailand was still one of the best decisions of my life. But I'm glad that I made the move from the UK to Thailand from a place of love, not fear. Because if I had the awareness that, hey, this might cost me my business, this might put me in financial trouble, etc., I probably wouldn't have done it. And I wouldn't be as happy as I am today, and how happy I've been for the last 4 years. When I moved to Thailand, I eventually just stopped any bad habit, any bad habit, any vice. Today, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't smoke, I don't do anything. Now, anything I ever did was social, right? Especially if you live in London or lived in London, you know what I'm talking about. I've never had problems with anything, addictions to anything. My mind's just too fucking strong. I've never had problems with anything in my life. But hey, I was a DJ, I was an entrepreneur, I was a business person. My clients, some of them had a lot of fucking money. They would take me out, we'd party. But in my life in Thailand, I don't do anything. I don't have a boys' club. I don't go out drinking. I just don't want to do it. I'm just too happy. I just don't need to do that shit. So yes, I'm way happier in Thailand than I ever was in the UK. I was happy in the UK. I was fulfilled. I was successful. I had a lot of fucking fun. But I was not at peace. I was always chasing. Next. Bigger. More. Because that's the culture I was in. Now I feel like I've done everything that I need to do. As long as I can keep living my life the way I'm living it, anything else that comes into my life is a bonus. Let me just come to the comments very quickly. Once again, this is not structured, these lives. This is just me hanging out with people. I want to connect with more people this year. Matt, brother from another mother, I hope you're well. Love to you and that. Or to you and your missus, thank you so much. Love back to you. Someone said I have to apologize. Phil Aussie, brother, I owe you an apology. Why? Tell me. Why do you feel you owe me an apology? So here goes. My comments were inappropriate. I don't know which comments you're referring to with the utmost respect. But thank you for the apology. I don't know. I get filtered comments. I don't see all the comments. I don't know when it was that you said those comments. But yeah, I really appreciate the apology, man, for whatever it was for. Poor or good, Phil Aussie, you seem like a genuine guy with a lovely family. Phil Aussie or Phil, that's all I want to be, man. I just want to be a good guy, is a good father, a good husband, and that takes care of his family. My family extends beyond my blood or my relationships. It's just anyone. I just want to be a good person. That's it. And people can say whatever the fuck they want about me. As long as I know I'm being a good person in life, I'm very happy. Life is not about how you look. Life is about how you feel and how you make other people feel. Let me say that again. The meaning of life is about how you feel, or the goal in life is about how you feel, not how you look. And there are plenty of people that look happy, look successful, but are fucking miserable and even suicidal. I had a conversation with someone that lives in one of the wealthiest cities in the world, has their own business, and they thought of ending their life. Life is not about what you have. Life is not about what you do. Life is about how you feel and how you make other people feel. Sorry, I just realized I was going over the screen. Sorry, I can't say that. You mustn't worry to live your life the way you want to. When you're happy, that's the only thing that matters. You will see everything will work out for you. God will provide when you have peace. 100% true. Whatever God means to you, understanding there's a higher power greater than your ego, greater than your fears, And that happiness, not just in how you feel, but in what you choose to do in the mission of your life, because your life is not about you. If you think your life is about you, you're already suffering, because then everything that happens to you in your life, you think is happening to you. It's not happening to you. My divorce didn't happen to me. It happened for me to help people through divorce. Being close to bankrupt didn't help me with people that are going through financial difficulties. Uh, um, Having problems with my ex, that allows me to do the same for other people, help them with problems in their relationships. The hardest decision of my life, leave the house that my daughter sleeps. So, and knowing that I won't be able to wake up with her every single day, as I do some days, but knowing that I can't wake up with her every day and put her to bed every day. That was, without any doubt, the hardest decision I ever made. But my life is not about me. If you think your life is about you, you go, why me, why me, why me, why me, why me? It didn't happen to me, it happened for me. Because how many men in the world have to walk away from relationships or get thrown out of relationships where they can't see their kids? I saw a video of a guy on Facebook that had been homeless for like 15 years. And he was interviewed by someone on the street, asking how he ended up like this. And he said one thing. He just said, it's one thing. I lost my son. I don't have my son anymore. Like, I know the pain of what it is like to not have your kid, or to have your kid taken away from you. I've felt that pain multiple times in the space of a year and a half, but it didn't happen to me. It happened for me. Because if someone says, I'm thinking of taking my life because of this, I'm like, hey, bro, I got you. I've been through it. Let me tell you how I got through it. And I hope it can help you too. It means you are happy with no problems. Louise, Happy New Year. I feel disconnected with my life. I feel I'm in the humdrum routine, go to work, eat, sleep, do the same thing. How do I deal with horrible women in the office environment? They are jealous. What are they jealous of? First of all, understand that everyone is just trying to survive. Everyone in life is trying to survive. Everyone in life is doing their best. But when we don't know how to raise ourselves up through self-compassion and self-love, and we observe people that are doing better or are happier, look, I'll be really fucking honest with you. I have been happy for a very long time, and it's pissed a lot of people off. When I was a personal trainer in my early 20s, I had a gentleman say to me in the gym when I walked past him, he was on the lat pull down machine. He looked at me and he said, stop being so fucking happy all the time. My happiness pissed him off. And by shouting at me, this city business person, a business person working in the city, he tried to take that away from me. And I just laughed. I had a personal trainer that was always angry and always struggling. And he'd see me with my clients laughing all the time, having fun. And he just absolutely he despised me. His name was Nathan. He fucking despised me. And one day he was a big heavyweight boxer. I'm like a beanpole. And he cornered me in the toilets, and he put a fist in my head and he said, I want to fucking beat I shouldn't be swearing because I'm on multiple platforms. I want to beat you up just because I don't like you. This is how people react. When you are at a level in your life that people don't know how to get to, because you're better than them or happier than them or more successful than them or more present and peaceful than them, whatever it is that you're living out that's inspirational or aspirational, and people aren't able to bring themselves to that level of existence, the only way for them to feel okay is they have to judge you and or bring you down to their level. So that's how you deal with jealousy. You can't be offended by anything that anyone says unless you allow them to be offended by you. And you can never be offended by what people say and do and how they act if you understand that everyone in the world is just doing their best. I have been, I'd like to think, a master of psychology and understanding human behavior now because of my studies of the last 2 decades. At least for the last decade, I'd like to think of myself as an expert in this area. And anytime I see anyone react to anything, I just know it's their trauma playing out. It's their pain playing out. It's their hurt, their anger, their resentment, their frustration, their loss. It's just coming out because no happy, healed person at peace acts like that. So I just never react because how I react is always how you react to someone's actions is a result of what's going on inside of you, not inside of someone else. You can call me a this, a that, a fucker, a cunt, or I'm trying not to swear, but also I really want to say whatever the fuck I want. New year, new me. I can say whatever I want, but how you perceive that, how you receive that is 100% your choice. And it's also 100% your responsibility. So that's how you deal with horrible people in the workplace or horrible women. But when you feel disconnected from your life and you feel like you're just going through a routine, it's because you miss purpose. This is what I do for a living. I have a community. I have private clients, and I help them. I do one thing. I help people live their full potential by practicing self-compassion and moving from fear-based success to love-based fulfillment. How you do that is you understand what your values are, you align your life and your business and your relationships to your values. You understand your vision and you live for your vision every day. If you are living life going through a routine and you're uninspired by life, it's because of one thing. You don't have a vision for your life, and also you're not taking action towards that vision every single day as best you can. Number 3, you need a mission. Your mission is your job, your vehicle, your vacation, your business, your hobby. It's the thing that keeps you inside your values, what matters to you, and takes you towards your vision. My current mission or my vehicles that I choose to be in mission in for 2026 are athlete, speaker, mentor. Athlete, speaker, mentor. In my personal life, my personal mission is to be the best partner and best father. Those are my focuses for 2026. Those are my missions. Those are my vehicles. When you show up in the vehicles that you choose for your life that are inspired by your vision and your values, you find purpose. You find passion. And a life without passion is just existence. When you don't have passion, it's because you don't have purpose. When you don't have purpose, it's because you don't have a why. You don't have a mission. You don't have a vision. You don't know your values. You're not living in alignment with those values, not working in alignment with those values. Your relationship isn't in alignment with those values. And then you just exist. And when you just exist, you fucking die inside. You don't understand why you feel so empty, why you feel so lost, why you feel so frustrated, maybe angry, resentful of your job, the people around you, even your partner, your children. But it has nothing to do with them. It has to do with you, and you are living out of alignment. I'm very proud of you. You're honest, kind, unique. God bless you, man. You're an awesome person. Thank you so much. God bless you too. Just doing my best. Jealous of me succeeding. They don't want me to do well. I don't want to say hate because that's a strong word. A lot of people dislike me. I've been okay with that for many years because I'm willing to do, hey, Ali, good to see you. Hey, April. I have been willing to do in my life what most people are not willing to do. I've been willing to tattoo my face. I've been willing to date someone from Asia. I'm just giving random examples. I've been willing to follow my dreams. I've been willing to do uncomfortable things. I've been willing to get up on stages. I've been willing to claim that I'm an expert. I've been willing to have the courage to put my knowledge in a book that makes me an authority on something, and then done it 10 times with 10 books. The list goes on and on. I've been willing to step into a boxing ring many times and fight professionally. And because I've been willing to do what a lot of men are afraid to do because they're living in fear and they're living for acceptance and validation, a lot of men dislike me. And it's not a coincidence that in my community, sometimes to our weekly calls on Saturdays, it's mostly women. It's not got to do with anything other than just I don't gel with a lot of men. But let me tell you, the men that I do connect with are heart-driven men. The men in my community are very open-hearted leaders, entrepreneurs, business people. Like if you don't live from here, there's more. If you're someone that lives from here, logic, fear, outer success, it's very likely that we are not friends, or we don't work together, or we tried working together and it wasn't for you. That's okay. That's okay. But yeah, anyway, sorry, I keep covering the screen here. Louise, I've been single for a while. I don't think I will ever find love. I'm so guarded, been hurt in the past. Well, if you're guarded, how can you ever let anything in? If you're in prison and you put up bars, how can someone ever get in the cell? It's impossible. But you're the one that the prison is in your mind. You created the bars. You put yourself in prison. And the warden in the prison is fear. So as long as you have your mind keeping you in prison and you have fear, the warden watching over you, you're never going to get out of this prison. You're never going to get away from fear. And you're never going to be able to get into a new relationship. You've got to allow yourself to understand that love is the greatest risk in the world. Because with great love comes great hurt. With great love comes great pain. With great love comes great loss. But to get out of the prison, you've got to go to love. You've got to be willing to love. And you've got to be willing to fail in love and have loss in love and have hurt and pain in love. Because you cannot have love without risk. You cannot do what you love. You cannot do what you love in life if you are not willing to fail. That is just common sense. To do what you love requires risk. And for that reason, to love requires risk. Accept that. It's yin and yang. It's perfect balance. It's night and day. Light and dark. With love comes pain. When I lose someone in my life, I'm sad, but I don't get too caught up in it. Because death is the same as birth. It's all the same. Love and pain is the same experience. You're just looking at one side and expecting not to see the other side or to experience the other side. It's like you buy a battery and you want the power of the battery and you want the charge of the battery and you want the potential of the battery, but you don't want to touch the negative side. Without the negative side, there's no fucking charge. You've just got half a battery. So if you want the full charge, the full energy, the full power of yourself and life, you need to have both the positive and the negative. But how you step into a new relationship, I haven't even touched on why I left the UK. These are going to be fucking awesome, these live streams. 363 days to go. How you get out of the prison of your mind and get rid of fear, the warden, is by turning to love. Fear to love. And then when you turn to love, you realize that the keys to get out of your own prison is in your heart. The keys are in your heart. And how you get out, what action to take, is self-compassion. Self-compassion practices. Self-compassion isn't woo-woo. Empathy is woo-woo. Empathy is, oh, I feel sorry for myself, or I feel sorry for them, or I feel sorry for the world, or I feel sorry for him or her. Compassion is empathy in action. It's doing something. So now you move out of the prison that is your mind and the story you keep telling yourself, because the only thing that's putting you in prison is your thoughts. And then you get rid of fear, the warden guarding the door. You move into love and the door's open, but now you still need to get out of the fucking prison. And how you do that is self-compassion, healing work, fitness, health, wellness, mental health, meditation, eating well, taking care of yourself, non-negotiable habits, breath work, gratitudes, incantations, anything that is self-serving, that you put into practice, anything that you practice that makes you better is a self-compassion practice, because anything that makes you better means that you suffer less, and compassion is for the want of less suffering. So anyway, let me just come back to the comments again. Jem, I'm a client of Paul's. Great guy. Which Paul? Sorry, I know a few Pauls. Great guy. Followed you for a while now. Matt Elwell. I love Matt so much. I love Matt. He's a good guy. Says great things about you. When I went to his seminars, I was meant to see this video today. Is it Jem? Is that your name? Or Gems? I'm not sure. Thanks for sharing that. And yeah, which Paul? I have a feeling it's Paul Heslop, but I know a few Pauls. Paul Fitzgerald. Ali, Happy New Year, bro. Happy New You. Same me, different standards. Same me, different goals. Despite real news cycle starts March 20th, spring equinox. Until then, we keep growing inwards, serving outwards, just like you do freely. Blessings 2026. Good to see you, brother. Good to have you here. Volumetrics mixers. Maybe you left because you couldn't get a job with them stupid tattoos under your eyes. Wow. There's always one inspirational commenter, one inspirational keyboard gangster. Let me tell you why I have tattoos under my eyes, since you want to know so badly. Because I've been my own boss my whole life. I don't work for anyone. I've never worked for anyone. I never will work for anyone. I create my own fucking rules. And when you create your own rules, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Now, remember I told you guys before, if you've been here for a while, you'll know that I told you when people see someone living a life that they're not able to live, they're not going to be okay with that. So the only way for them to be okay is they need to try and bring you down. And this is when little keyboard gangsters go and say, you can't get a job with your stupid fucking tattoos. Let me tell you, I've earned more than most doctors for more than 10 years of my life, and I don't have a job. So there you go. I don't want a job. I don't want a job. I've never wanted a job. And that's why I can look however I want. So if you're offended by it, look forward to the future because there's more tattoos coming. The one and only Fitzy. Okay, awesome. I love Fitzy. Like, he started working with me. He's been in my community for a while. We started working together 2025. Love him to pieces. He's a true gentleman. He's a great leader. And I'm looking forward to supporting him in 2026. Ipsy, I'm just going to call you Ipties. To all the keyboard gangsters, kindly fuck off, please. Couldn't have said it better myself. Paul, oh no, that's old. So I'm going to check the comments one more time, and then I'm going to share again why I left the UK. Yesterday, I had a craziest experience. I had people watching this live stream from the towns that I grew up in, Cape Town, South Africa. That was crazy. I don't know how that happened, but Ryan, if you're watching, Ryan Lee, that still blows my mind yesterday, that a guy I haven't seen in 25, 30 years was on my live stream yesterday, and I haven't lived in South Africa for 20 years. Okay, so that platform, I've done the comments. Louise, what was the turning point for you to make the decision to go to Thailand? Okay, let's get into it. So I covered this a bit yesterday. So let me just have a sip of my tea. By the way, South African tea, no caffeine, best tea in the world, Rooibos. Rooibos. They sell it in England. It's called Red Bush tea. This is the healthiest tea, full of antioxidants. I've been drinking it all my life. Louise, thank you very much. And Roy Boss, you know it, yeah? Hello, everyone, again, for anyone that's joined new. So, okay, let's get into it. So, I don't even know how long I've gone, but it's been a long time. 40 minutes I've gone already. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so quick recap from yesterday. I grew up in Cape Town, South Africa. I didn't have the best life, didn't have the worst life, but I didn't like the life I was presented. Zimbo here. Love that tea. Oh, awesome. Rooibos tea is the best. I'm from South Africa. Awesome, awesome. I just wanted to leave South Africa to create a better life for myself. Now, as a young South African, at a time that was just past apartheid, the only way you could really, well, based on my own perception and my own awareness, the only way you could get out of South Africa was through an ancestral visa. If you're, for example, my grandfather was from the UK, so I could get an ancestry visa through my grandfather, and I could get, residency in the UK. But let me be very, very clear. Most people don't know this. Out of all the countries in the world, the only reason why I chose the UK, the only reason was because that's where kids went. When I was at that time in South Africa, if you could get out of the UK, if you could get out of South Africa to create a better life for yourself, you went to England. And I could go to England because of my grandfather being English. And it was the easiest thing to do, apply for an ancestral visa and go there. Of course, it would have been harder. I could have gone to Canada, Australia, whatever, but my family didn't have money. I didn't really have money. At the time, I was like delivering pizzas or something like that. If I remember correctly, my mom took out a loan to help me to get the paperwork done. And we ended up, we found this company that gets you like, I'd never been on a plane. Never mind left the country. I'd never been on a plane. And now I was going on a plane from the southern tip of Africa all the way to England on my own, by myself, landing in a city that really, I'd never been in a proper city in my life. I mean, I'd been in Cape Town. It's like a tiny, tiny little city, town even. And we used this company to get me a job. And they kept saying, don't worry, your son is looked after, he's got a job, etc. I ended up working in a place called Ipswich in a chicken factory. I was 21 or something at the time, the first time I landed in the UK, and 20 or 21. And I remember being so miserable, so afraid. But I just kept at it. I was like, I'm here to create a better life for myself. I gave my mom a call, cried, had a little cry. She gave me some strength like my mom has done throughout my life. And I went from there and I just kept finding a way. I went from a chicken factory to a cat and dog food factory to a pub. You know, this is a whole story just in that journey, but I'll leave that for another time. And eventually got into London and wanted to be a DJ. I was left South Africa, getting into music, getting into DJing, wanted to be a DJ. By the age of 23, I was a DJ. Then I realized that wasn't working out for me. And I went back to what I love, which was fitness. And I got into personal development. And through fitness and personal development, I radically tried and change my life. And I thought, fuck, how amazing would it be to do this for a living? And then I did that for 20 years. But I forgot the reason why I came to the UK. Hey, Paulina. I came to the UK because I wanted to create a better life for myself. And I did that by the age of 30. And then I just stayed. Did you ever take packet in Thailand? What's that? Are you talking about drugs or something like that? No. Why, you ask? Is that a genuine question, or are you just a keyboard gangster? Yeah, why is that a genuine question? Like, tell me why you asked that question. But no, I don't even drink beer. If I try and have a beer, I'm like, I can't even get through half of it. Oh, it's genuinely no. Why would I do something in a country that's if you get caught with that shit here, you're going to prison. You're going to prison. And I know people do it, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Anyway, so I went to the UK and I started to make a better life for myself. And then I did it, but I stayed. And I just got caught up in what success looks like. Listen carefully, what success looks like. And I forgot about what JP wanted. I forgot about what the inner child in me wanted. I forgot about my passions as a kid. And I just kept, look, I just wanted to be successful. I just wanted money. I just wanted a better life. I didn't want to have the life that I experienced growing up. Stress, fear, scarcity, worry, anger, frustration, drinking, suffering. And I got out of that. But then I got out of that through business, coaching, wearing suits, speaking, all that stuff. And then I just stayed there. But then something happened. When I was 37 years old, I got hit by a car head on in a hit and run collision, left for dead on the side of the road. But just before that, I started stepping away from things, stepping away from speaking on multi-speaker stages. You know, these big events where they have like 8 speakers and every speaker is like, or every second speaker is selling you a program. And it's, you know, if you buy now, it's, you know, it's usually 10 million, $1,100. But if you buy now, you'll get the bonuses. And I just ended up there because it was so aggressive. Becoming a speaker, it was like boom, 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 boom. Next thing I knew, I was representing Tony Robbins, Middle East, UK, Africa, and I just ended up there. And then I was like, nah, this doesn't feel right, man. This doesn't feel right for me. So I stepped away from that, and I got a coaching contract working for a bank, but they treated me like an employee, and I turned the contract down. It was 6 figures. I was like, no, that doesn't feel for me. And honestly, I started to feel a little bit lost. And I started partying more than I should have. And I kept doing what I was doing. But it slowly, mid-30s became about the money to keep my lifestyle going. And then something happened, not to me, for me. I got hit by a car in this collision, and it woke me up. It forced me to sit on my ass and do nothing and think about my life. And I remember my whole attitude to life before that, from the age of 10 when I started working, was go, 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 go. And I remember in my recovery, bless my friend Nick James, that got me to have a few months after leaving hospital, like a few weeks after leaving hospital, I got to meet David Goggins face to face. And I was like, David Goggins, like, I've got broken legs and this and that, and I've had internal surgery and punctured lung and heart trauma, and I'm like, I almost died and I have no memory of the accident. Like, I want to do an Ironman in the next 4 months. Like, give me some David Goggins inspiration. And he told me in a private conversation, he told me, you see me do all these incredible things online, but what you don't see is the time between, you know, these 200-mile runs, these 300 miles ones, the pull-up record. He said, in the gaps, you don't see what I'm doing. That's where most of the work of me is done. And he said these words to me. He said, do nothing for a year, and then you'll see who the fuck you really are. And I remember in my wheelchair, high on morphine, going, and the idea of not setting a goal and just feeling where I was at, that scared me, because all of my life I'd been chasing since the age of 10, chasing money, chasing success, chasing more, chasing a better life. So what I did was, okay, I didn't last a year because old habits die hard, but for a few months, I just went inward and I just started to question. At 37 years old, I got hit by a car, I have post-traumatic amnesia, I remember nothing. So just like that, boom, I wouldn't have existed. And if that was my life over, what would I have regretted? And I pondered that for months. I sat in meditation. I wanted to go deeper in meditation, because the more I sat in meditation, the more I got access to the truth about myself, about what was really going on inside me. Like I said, David Goggins said, do nothing and you'll find out the truth of who you really are. And I got more into, before that, the only meditation I did was like apps, meditation apps, like Calm or something, or Headspace. Now I started sitting properly in meditation in silence. I started studying with a Buddhist monk on YouTube, just watching his content. Then I found a monk that no one really knew back then. A few people did, but he wasn't as famous as he is now. Shi Hang Yi, Master Shi Hang Yi. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go deeper. I'm gonna go deeper. So I went deeper, and I went to the Shaolin Temple, Europe, and I lived in a Shaolin Temple for a few weeks under Master Shi Hang Yi, and practiced Qigong and Kung Fu and Buddhism. You love Jay Shetty. Why'd you say that? I was friends with Jay for a very short time until he became way too famous for me. The last thing he said was, well, next time you're in London, let's meet up and work on your business. And that never happened because he just got too famous. But I'm curious as to why you mentioned Jay Shetty there. But so I'm with Shi Hang Yi in the Shaolin Temple, Europe, and my legs are still fucked up. And I'm taking drugs to try and get through the training. I'm so weak. I look like a skeleton from the collision. I had to learn how to walk again afterwards. And I definitely couldn't run by this time, but they allowed me to go there. And I meditated and found out more about myself. And then I went to a Vipassana meditation. Vipassana is living in silence with a structured day where you meditate in silence with no guides, nothing. No interaction with the outside world, no phone allowed, no talking to people, no gesturing for people to go through a door or use the toilet before you. You're with yourself and you're meditating for 10 to 11 hours a day. And I went deeper and I found out more about myself. And then as a result of that, I wanted to go deeper. So I found out about plant medicine and I started going to ayahuasca ceremonies. And then I kept being called back to ayahuasca ceremonies to go deeper and deeper. And I just learned more about myself in a year than I probably did in all of my life, in all of those different practices, from meditation to living with the Shaolin warrior monks, to doing Vipassana, to doing plant medicine, to learning from my teacher, Rita. I just learned so much about myself. And this is what I learned. In short, after the collision, going inwards and investing hours and hours and hours going inwards and trying to get access to my subconscious, which is the truth of who you are, what you want, where you've come from, etc. It's the truth. In your subconscious, in meditation, in stillness lies the truth of who you are, because in your subconscious is your past, your present, and your future. The truth of it, the truth of your future, what you want, the truth of your present and how your life is, the truth of your past and what you experienced. And I went there a lot, courageously, often. And my findings were this, or my main findings in summary were this, that I wasn't living my life. I was living my industry's life. I was living my friend's lifestyle. I was living my wife's life. I've always been a relationship person, and every adult relationship I've had, it's always been this way. You can call it whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. I call it traditional. I call it a gentleman. And I've always been the man that says, as long as you're with me, you don't have to work. Pay attention to my language before you attach judgment to what I just said. I didn't say you don't work. I said you don't have to work. So the woman that then became my wife in the UK, now my ex-wife, when I met her, I said, she was a receptionist. I said, as long as you're with me, you do not have to do what you don't want to do. And I've always been that way. Even if I'm struggling, even if I'm having terrible months, I'm just a person that I want to be the caretaker. I want to take care of the person or the people that are in my life. And And I've always done this. It's just how I was brought up. And I think it's because my mom had to fight and fight and fight and fight and fight and fight. And all I wished for as a kid was I didn't want her to have that. And I definitely didn't want to have my future partner have to do that. But going back to the collision, I learned about myself. I learned about that I was living other people's lives. And I learned that just decision by decision, month by month, year by year, I realized that I was living her life, her lifestyle, living in England, her country. We moved all the way to her, where she grew up, near her school. We went out with her friends. The design of our house was her design. And not being disrespectful to her, I was just happy with that. I was like, if I'm working and I'm doing what I love, inspiring people to live better lives, and we have a good lifestyle, I'm happy. Like, I've never been a person for wanting much or specific things. So I just kind of let her like build our life, and we built it together. But after the collision, I realized, like, if I could live any life that I want to in the world, I wouldn't be living in the cold. I wouldn't be living in the country. I wouldn't be living in England, because it's generally miserable. It's not all miserable, because I lived there for 20 years, obviously. There's a lot of positive people. But the general energy is more negative than positive. And for quite a few other reasons. But I just realized that I have my own business. I'm successful. I can work from a laptop or a phone. I can work from any country. At that time, I traveled to over 20 countries, spoken in like 20 countries. And I was like, the accident woke me up. I was like, I can literally, without any like I can move to another country if I do this, this, and this. No, I could literally go right now. And I could live in any country that I want in the world. And I'm the one that's financially supporting the relationship. And I was like, nah, I can't do this anymore. And it started off with me saying, look, I'll go spend half my time in Dubai, because that had fitness, nature, sunshine, success culture, more positive energy. Just, it was more my values. And I was like, we'll do half. And just then my wife couldn't understand that. My ex-wife now couldn't understand that, of course, because she didn't sign up for that. She didn't sign up to be married to a guy that wants to be away half of the time. But the accident fucked me up and woke me up to the truth that I was living a lie. And I wanted to live my life, not someone else's life. So we decided to try and do Dubai half the time. Honestly, that lasted months and it just fell apart. But I was going to move to Dubai. I got residency. I set up my business in Dubai. I got my Emirates ID card. I was looking for my apartment. And then March 2022, I think it is, I'm skiing in Austria with a friend. And on the 1st of April, I see a Facebook post. I'm in the chalet resting from the morning skiing session, and I see a Facebook post. Thailand opens its borders after COVID. Now, if you don't know, Thailand was shut. And the funny thing about life is, if something's not in your awareness, like if you don't see your pen here every day, you don't look at it every day, and you don't see your pen for 2 years, you will not know where your pen is. And because Thailand was shut for so long, when all of this stuff was happening in my life and I was looking at following my truth and living the life I really wanted, Thailand wasn't even in my mind. I just thought, because I was having so much success in Dubai, I was traveling there for work every 3 to 4 months. I was like a gold member on Emirates. It just was the natural option for me. If I'm going to live my life, where would that be? Sun, fun, sunshine, fitness culture, be by the sea, success driven, good energy. It was just so simple to me. Dubai, go to Dubai. But when the borders opened up, all these memories came back of my 20s and 30s. And you see very quickly, when I started to change my life for myself and got into personal development, I got back into what I loved, which was fitness. I got a job in a gym called Gymbox in London. Hey, baby. Okay. Love you. See you soon. I won't be much longer.
So, you want tea?
No, I'm okay, baby. I've still got mine here. Thank you. See you soon. Where was I now? I just thought it was Dubai. Dubai, Dubai, Dubai. But then when Thailand opened its borders, all these memories came back. And I remember starting out my own personal development journey in my early 20s, finding Thai boxing, Muay Thai in London, going to my first class and being obsessed. I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever experienced. Thai boxing. I loved it. And I remember in my 20s, I typed in Google, I want to go and study Thai boxing in Thailand. Why Thailand? Because it's just Thai boxing. I was like, I love this sport so much. It's Thai boxing. It's from Thailand. If I love this sport so much, why don't I go study it? Why don't I go take a holiday in Thailand? Long story made very short. I went to I found a gym called Tiger Muay Thai, which I've been training at for 15 years, however long it's been. More than that now, actually. And I experienced Thailand for the first time. The energy, the sport, the culture, the people, the food. And I just fell in love with it. Like I fell in love with every single part of Thailand, the friendliness of the people, how humble they were, how when you come here, generally speaking, I can't speak for the big cities, but in Phuket, Thailand, an island where I live, no one judges you. You can be a drag queen, a cross-dresser, you can be a guy covered in tattoos, you can be a fucking criminal. Everyone just lets you be you. And it was just so freeing. And let me tell you, the greatest freedom in the world, the greatest personal freedom in the world is the freedom to be yourself. And I just saw all these people just being themselves and doing whatever they want and whatever made them happy. And I was doing Muay Thai and I was drinking coconuts, fresh coconuts, and I was eating pad thais and tom yum and pat siu, all these Thai. And I was just like, this is the best place in the world. But I was in a relationship. So I had to go back because I've always been a relationship person. So I went back to the UK. And the first thought I had was, I have to get back to this place. I have to go back. I have to go back. That's the greatest place in the world. So I was like, how can I get back there? How can I get back there? And honestly, the reason why I created my retreats, Free Your Full Potential, FYFP, and the retreats that I've been running for over 10 years in Thailand is because two reasons. One, I wanted to get back to Thailand every year and have it paid for. And two, I knew that if I could give people the same experience and the same feeling that I had, hey, that would be magic. That would be beautiful. That would not be work. And that's why I created my retreats. I've been running them ever since. I had one in January last year, April last year, November last year. Our next retreat is this April 5th to the 11th. And I get to still do that many years later, just sharing my life with people where they just do fitness, wellness, running, hiking, go on the ocean, eat good food, do yoga, meditate, breath work, sound healing. Basically, they get to live my life, but intensely over 7 days. And they do a complete reset on their life. And I'm still running it many years later. But that was my connection to Thailand. And then the accident happened, then COVID happened. And to be honest with you, I just forgot it. My last retreat was meant to be after my 1 month after when the car hit me and when I was 37 in 2019. So that was canceled. And then it was just like, and canceled until further notice. And then COVID happened. And then I moved, then the notification that Thailand opened up. And of course, based on what I've just told you about my feelings towards Thailand, it was like, I got divorced. I was moving to Dubai. I haven't got an apartment yet. Literally all my bags were packed because after this skiing trip, I was moving my bags from the UK, and I left the car, the house, the furniture, everything with my wife. And I said, you stay, I will go. And I just left with bags. And then I took my bags and I said, fuck Dubai, I'm moving to Thailand. I made a lot of mistakes along the way. My ego, as it is with many people, you think Thailand money is monopoly money. I spent tens of thousands. I spent way too much money. I overindulged. I bought too many things. At one point, I had a massive villa with a 12-meter pool with brand new motorbikes out of the box, out of the showroom, that were dropped off by, driven off trucks, a car with a bow around it. I just went fucking mental. I wish I didn't have done. I wish I'd done it differently, but also at the same time, I don't regret it, because it was a great experience. Honestly, how I felt after going to the UK to create success, not for my happiness, to create a successful life for myself, and then being in a relationship where I just wanted to be happy. As long as my wife was happy, I was happy. I just wanted to keep working, keep doing what I love, keep doing fitness, etc., and just ended up living more her life. Then having that collision that happened for me, because it woke me up to a lot of things. And by the way, utmost respect, I would not have got through the recovery, through everything that was related to the accident. I wouldn't have done it without my ex. She got me through that whole time. Financially, helping me get money, manage the house, doctors, lawyers, everything. Like, just that, I'll never forget that for the rest of my life. We don't speak, unfortunately, because of what happened. Just something happened in the divorce that, once again, I don't want to be disrespectful, so I'm not going to mention anything. But I'm very grateful for that experience. But let me tell you, when I made these decisions and I moved to Thailand, I felt like I was living 100% my life for the very first time. And that is the honest to God's truth on my daughter's life. For the first time, I felt I was living my life. And I was not living a version of me that needed to be accepted by other people so that I could be successful. I left that life behind and I moved to Thailand. Now, I will keep talking about this. The story goes further, deeper, higher, but I have a year of live streams to do. So I'm just going to leave it there, but that's why I moved to Thailand. Let me come to the comments. Hey, Philippines, good to see you again. Sue Wen, what do your face tattoos say? Karuna warrior. Karuna is a Sanskrit word for compassion. And Karuna is someone with the name Karuna is someone that fights for compassion. I'm very passionate about reducing the suffering of the world, for the planet, animals, mostly for humans. We live in a world where over 700,000 people commit suicide every year. And I do my best to just be a role model for compassionate living, a role model for self-compassion, a role model for self-love. And I've made it my mission for the rest of my life to fight for compassion, because we live in a world where too much suffering exists. Alex, people pleasing, not sure what that's referring to. Good evening from Philippines. What about yourself? I should have picked up on these earlier. Loving Thailand, amazing. Me too. Which part of Thailand are you in? In Phuket. I also will share about Dubai. I love Dubai very, 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 very much. And when business got a lot more difficult, and I wasn't just having clients like come, I would just have people like call me. Oh, I've got this guy who wants to work with you, or oh, can I work with you again? It would be like 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand. That was the last 10 years of my life. And then when I moved to Thailand, I ordained as a monk. I shaved my head, my eyebrows, got more tattoos, freed myself, basically. I just freed myself, followed my heart, followed my intuition. But business started to struggle. One of the decisions that I made was, maybe I have to go back to Dubai. Because Dubai, I'm now relatable again. If I'm wearing suits, dressing well, wearing my labels, wearing my Versace shirts, etc. I'm more relatable. I can make more money, etc. Long story made very short. I'll talk about this another day. But I went there a few times with my partner, and then in August went there and said, hey, maybe we just have to face the truth that it's easier in Dubai. And lived in Dubai 2025 for August, September, and October. And when I would call my daughter the love of my life, the second love of my life, in the beginning it was yay. In the middle, she started hiding her face from me every time I would say goodbye, because she knew that if I say bye, if she doesn't look at me, maybe I won't leave. And then towards the end of my 2.5 months in Dubai, I stopped calling my daughter because of guilt and shame of being away. But I was there trying to fight to keep my business going for my daughter. And then I just made a decision that my daughter is my peace. Being with my daughter is my peace. And going after success that costs you your peace isn't worth it. And I would rather fight harder living next to my daughter than be in another country making success easy. I just couldn't do it. So anyone wondering why I went to Dubai and then came back in November, that's the reason. It just wasn't fucking worth it for me. I even moved my house next to my daughter. Respect to my partner, Nat, because she lives 5 minutes from my ex. You know what a fucking woman that is? You know what that takes from a woman? The level that she supports me to be okay that we bump into my ex all the time. And the fact that the area that we live in isn't by the beach where Nat wants to live. And the fact that I live 1 minute from my daughter's school, it's because Nat understands Mila is everything for JP. And I don't want to take that away from him. So everything's about my daughter, and that's why I'm back in Thailand. But I'm still trying to find that balance between Dubai and Thailand. But honestly, like honest to God's truth, I was meant to be in Dubai from the second week of January, and I'm already hesitating because the idea of leaving my daughter for a week, I just don't know if it's worth it. I just don't know if it's worth it. But more than likely, I will be in Dubai towards the end of this month. Which part of Thailand you're in? I love Thailand, land of smiles. Absolutely, it's my retirement country, as you should, Romero, as you should. It's funny when hecklers, when keyboard gangsters say, Nat's only with you for the passport. She's only with you for the visa. We just laugh because I'm the fucking one that wants the visa. Like, she's Thai. I want to live in Thailand. I wish I had a Thai passport. So we just find that hilarious. People are like, she doesn't love you. She just wants your visa. No, I want a visa for her country. Fucking idiots. I want to invest in properties. Do you have any advice? I'm not going to give advice in that area because one, I'm not an expert in that area. And two, you can really go. You need to know what you're doing in Thailand because there's a lot of scammers, especially for Phalanx, especially for foreigners. Romeo, I'm in London, looking to move to Dubai or Thailand. It depends on what you want from life. A lot of my clients would never move to Thailand. I get it. It's not a life that they want for themselves. Most people do not want to live in Thailand. They don't want my life. They don't want to. I can go today. I, sat by the pool, had a protein shake, took my top off, drove down the scooter, no top, no helmet, say what you want. My gym's like almost at the end of the street. Went to the gym. It's boiling hot, boiling hot pretty much every day. I went to a little Thai restaurant and ate Thai food without aircon. But we also go to beach clubs. It's like, it depends on what you want in life. Let me tell you another reason why I went to Dubai with the intention to live there. And there were two reasons why we came home. One, it wasn't worth my peace. I started to avoid my daughter's calls because I felt guilty being away. I knew I should have been with my daughter. And I felt like, saying, I have to be in Dubai because that's where the money is. As a father, not as a business person, not as an entrepreneur. As a father, that felt like a cop-out for me. Like, you should be with your daughter. If you have a choice, you should be with your daughter. And some men don't have a choice, but I had a choice. It just made life harder. It made business harder, but it was still a choice. And I knew the right choice to make. I had to go back to it. But the second part was, I was living I have high standards. I always like to stay in nice places. I was living in Dubai Marina, and I'm always staying in a nice place. And every time I met someone, usually I'd be in Dubai 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but this time it was almost 3 months. And every time I met someone living in the fourth wealthiest city in the world, the most progressive city in the world, one of the most beautiful, or if not the most beautiful city in the world, I would meet them and I would feel their tension. I would feel their stress. They would come for a meeting and they'd be late. Or I'd say, "How are you?" And they'd say, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm just so busy." Or I'd say, "How has business?" "Yeah, it's really full on. Things are really stressful." And I said to Nat, we're moving ourselves to Dubai, and look at the energy of the people here. Like, I don't want to live like that. I don't want to be tense, stressed, tension, overworked. I said, when we go out in Thailand and we talk to people, do they ever answer like that? Never. If you go socialize with people in Thailand, or you talk to people in Thailand, "How are you?" Sabai sabai, relaxed. "How are you?" "Yeah, very good." "How are you?" "Yeah, everything's good." "How are you?" "Yeah, man, just chilling." It's like, it's a very, very different energy, and that's not an energy that inspires me. To um, Your hustle is not flex. Your stress is not flex. And some people think it is, but for me, it's not something that I wanted. So those are the two reasons why we decided, no, Thailand is still the best country in the world. Now, Nat, my partner, Thai, yes, she's from a third world country. She's never lived in a village. She's from a city. She grew up in Bangkok, a city. She went to a good school. She went to university. She has a business degree, business and psychology degree, right? She's not how the online haters want to paint her, but she's from Thailand. And she's a fashionista. She's massively into style, fashion, makeup, beauty, luxury. She takes care of herself very, very well. One of her dreams was to live in Dubai. And I took her to Dubai once, then twice, then 3 times in 2025. The realization that she had was she doesn't want to live in Dubai. She prefers living in Thailand. And I was like, me too. Thailand's just the best place in the world. Mate, dear, want some advice on how to build a house in Thailand? Hit me up when you get time. I don't have advice on building a house, sorry. Pressure brings growth. Absolutely, pressure brings growth. I've definitely grown more in the last year than probably ever in my life, because the pressure I've experienced in being a father, in having an ex, in being a partner, and being a business person, in balancing my life between Dubai and Thailand. In cutting away old versions of me that I no longer am. All right, more comments. Don't go. Inner strength is the key. Yeah, man. Self-compassion. Self-compassion is the key to unlock everything. Louise, Jay became a monk. Oh yeah, cool. Jay was a monk for like 3 years. His story felt real and authentic. The way he taught how to get into your inner purpose, inspiring, just like you. I mean, I was only a monk for a month, but yeah, he did 3 years. I'm so pleased I found you on here. Thank you, Louise. I'm glad you found us, or me. Don't go Dubai. Sorry, I meant to write such an inspirational instead of lunch of inspiration. No worries. I don't see every comment, unfortunately, because some get filtered for some reason. Yeah, no judgment in Thailand. It's different in the cities. I'm sure it's different in Bangkok. But where I live, there's no judgment, man. You see the type of people that walk around. I live in a global fitness mecca. It's a place called Fitness Street. Type in Google or TikTok or whatever. Type Fitness Street Thailand, and you'll see I live there. Right. Once upon a time, I came here and spent a week here. Then I built retreats around this street. And it was like one day, man, the dream would be to live here. Now I live here, and I've lived here for over 4 years. The place that once was a dream for me, the place that I first came to for a week or 2 weeks, and when I left, I cried because I didn't want to go. I was so happy in this place. I couldn't believe a place like this existed in the world. Now I live there because I just made it fucking happen, and that's what I do. I go after what I want in life. And other people like to judge that because they've given up on their dreams. They don't have courage. They're too afraid to walk away from their performance prison. They've got golden handcuffs. They're too scared to tell their wife or their husband the truth, etc., etc., etc. I don't give a fuck. I do what I want because life is short. 2 days ago, New Year's Eve, my friend died in his 40s. Right? Life doesn't wait for you. Life doesn't care how successful you are. Life doesn't care how hard you work. Life doesn't care what a good person you are. Life is life. It has a beginning and has an ending. That's it. That's life. It has a beginning and an ending. And it's not from here to here. It's here to here. You leave yourself. Your spirit goes into the body. You experience life as best you can. And then you come home to yourself. Well, I want that loop to be the greatest fucking ride ever. And I want to do it my way. Mabuting Tings. Your story is inspiring. Live our life the way we want. Absolutely. Of course, you love Dubai. Then, okay, of course, why? Ramiro, Shillong is the best strip for fitness. Yep, that's where I live. I was staying there a few years ago and want to move there. Yep, that was me. I run retreats here. I still run retreats on Fitness Street. That's where all my clients stay, on hotel. The gym is there. Everything we do is on Fitness Street, except for like when we do activities outside. But yeah, it's all around Fitness Street in Shillong. It's freeing to live life the way you want and not dictated by society. Look at me. I am so far, I hate to use the word, but everyone will understand. I'm so far out of the matrix. It makes me laugh. There's nothing about me that fits in, honestly. And I love it. I love it. Okay, I've covered comments there. Paul, afternoon. Guys, my phones are dying. I'm going to have to end this soon. I hope you're good, mate. Thank you. You too. Okay, let me come here. No judgment in Thailand. You have some South African roots? Yeah, I'm from Cape Town, South Africa. Lived there first 20 years of my life. I love my country so much. I love my city so much. I just left to create a better life for myself. I didn't like the life I was brought into, so I left and I created better. And I've always done that. I've never settled. If I've seen that there's a better way to live, I've gone after it. I've done that my entire life. Louise, my friend is retiring in February, moving to Hue Hin. I can never say it right. Hue Hin. I've never been there. Apparently, it's absolutely stunning. I do want to go there with Nat soon. Tell me more about your retreat. It's 7 days, 5th to the 11th of April. It's $2,000, and it is on Fitness Street. We do yoga. We do hikes. There's obviously coaching, mentoring from me. We do sound healing, breath work, meditation, ice baths. We have a private boat and we go out on the Andaman Sea, visit some islands. The whole point is to do a complete reset on your life, mind, body, and spirit, so you can regulate your nervous system, bring yourself to an absolute place of calm and clarity. And then whilst you're here immersed in yourself and in activities like fitness and yoga and even try boxing, everything is optional, but it is a full calendar, a full itinerary. You then go back into life and you make better decisions. People have started businesses, new businesses, quit their job, got in a relationship, got married, got divorced, got fitter, got healthier, had a baby. People they stop. They stop for 7 days, and it's about self-compassion, self-care, fitness, health, wellness, eating well, living well, training well, guided. Their whole experience for 7 days is guided by me and my partner and any team that I may have to support. We drive you around everywhere in a minivan. We go to an elephant sanctuary where elephants are rescued from the elephant, trade. And yeah, the next one is 5th to the 11th. Limited spaces because of yoga classes, sound healing classes, minivan spaces on the boat. And if you want any more information about that, just DM me or comment retreat or Thailand, anything that gives me an idea that you want me to get in touch with you. Hope you and your missus have a good New Year's, man. Thanks, Eric. I'm happy for you both. I've finished up the rat race here in the US. Congratulations. Been to Thailand like 8 times already. Thailand is my happy place. Me too, brother. Me too, me too, me too. Every single day I wake up and I say, wow, another day, let's go. And I just feel that there's something about the sunshine in Thailand that hits different. There's something about the light in the morning and the evening in Thailand that hits different. It has like a different color. It has a different feeling, a different energy. Mabu Tings, you're very welcome. Louise, please don't go. Every day I'll be back. Unless something stops me from doing this, every day I will be back here. The extra activities, is that extra? No, everything is included in the retreat. You get your flights and your hotel, and then like going to a conference where you walk in the morning and you leave in the evening, from morning to night, everything is included in that $2,000. If you want, I have a whole info sheet I can send you. I can answer any questions you want. And that's for anyone interested, obviously. So I've covered comments there. See you in Thailand. Mabu Ting Tings. Let me come here. I don't know what that is. That's a frog or something like that in the comments. So, guys, I'm going to leave it there. That's why I left the UK, if that even makes sense. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace and love. Remember that the prison that you're in is created by your mind. What's keeping you in the prison of your mind is fear. How you get out of the prison is to get rid of fear by bringing love into your life. And how you do that is through self-compassion. Self-compassion is the way out of your suffering. Peace.